Hey everyone, John here with Pro Paintball. I am back in the tech room today with another tech video. Today I'm going to show you how to service and clean your 20 round Tippmann TMC mags, what to watch out for when you get inside, show you a little trick on how to put it back together, much easier than you would think. Let's get started. Alright everyone, to get started cleaning and servicing your Tippmann TMC mags, first thing you're going to need is an Allen wrench set, or the one that comes with your gun when you purchase it. You're going to need the 1/8 Allen wrench. And I believe that's it. You might need one of the smaller ones here. I'll show you why in a second. But this is the Tippmann TMC, the 68 caliber mag with the adapter. So this is the one that comes apart, so that way you can release them like that. You can't detach that, but I'll show you all how to do that one. So, okay, I'm gonna set the box aside. All right, first things first, of course, make sure no paintball's inside of there. And I'm gonna wanna detach the two mags. So I'm gonna take this and press this up there and then turn it away from me. You've got that there. I'm just gonna lay one of these to the side. And so Tippmann TMC, the Tippmann brand has done an amazing job with this mag, with the gun. It's a very popular gun. So we have a lot of questions. People will break paint inside of here, or they put broken paint inside, or they drop it and it gets dirty. They won't know how to clean it. So we're just gonna cover that quickly today. So you've got your 1/8 Allen wrench. I'm gonna take the short end here, and I'm going to unscrew this. I love this mag because there's something pretty cool here. So this is a smaller, short, one of the shorter screws in the mag. And the bottom of this actually comes off. So what's nice about this is if you want to do a quick cleaning, you could pull this off here and clean the right side or the main side of the mag. That simple. But I'm going to show you how to completely break it down. There's some things inside you want to keep an eye on, so make sure you stay till the end. Don't miss that. So if you accidentally pull the entire thing apart, make sure you know what you're doing to get that back together. It's kind of a pain. So first screw, as you can tell, super easy, but you can see this can kind of get complicated in here. So make sure you just have a clean space when you're working, and then lay that together. I'll go ahead and put this screw inside the small piece here. Okay, next is going to be the middle screw here, and work your way up. So there's one little piece. So I'm holding the mag together right now because you don't want it to kind of it shouldn't fly apart or anything like that. I just want to make sure I don't lose anything on accident. So go ahead and pull that screw there. And there's a small metal tab here at the top. So it just kind of holds in place. There's no screws or anything like that. You can use like a small needle nose, a small pair of needle nose or a small Allen wrench. Sometimes you can actually use your nail. So I'm going to take this and just take my thumbnail and slide it from underneath the bottom. I'm going to slide this directly up, and you do not want to lose this piece here. So you see it there. Lay that to the side. And now everything should come apart. So again, I'm just going to pull the two halves apart here, just like that, and it's going to slide off. Good to go. So that's your quick cleaning part. This, as you can see, pieces start coming out, and I'm going to show you everything about the mag. So it is kind of complicated if you accidentally take it apart and everything flies everywhere. So stay tuned because it's going to get pretty deep here. Okay, so those are your main pieces. It's just going to go back together here. You have your push button. You have your mag release on the inside of it that basically presses into the gun. And then you have this other piece here. This is your release that will allow the mag to wind or unwind itself up. So there's a little small gear on here. And as you wind it up to use it, that's what this piece here clicks on it and holds it in place and releases it. So go ahead and set that aside. Okay, so this is where it gets scary. There's a small pin here, a small little lever piece, and a small spring. You can lose all of those. This center tab here does not come out, so that is good to go. And then you have three pieces here. You have the rectangular type slotted piece of plastic that pokes out of the mag actually when it's all put back together. You have the release here that it's all under spring tension the entire time. So it's kind of complicated. Like I said, I'm going to pull this out. So you want to be careful that spring doesn't go everywhere. So I'm just going to take it and pull it all out kind of together, straight out the top. And as you can tell, the spring does fly. There you go. So those are your three pieces there. Just so you can see hopefully better in my hand. is that spring sits right here in the bottom, and this little tab on the bottom of this piece, it kind of sits in there like this, and that the top of the spring sits on the bottom of this piece here when it all goes back together, and I'll show you that here in a second. Okay, so let's go ahead and put that back together. So if you want to take like a Q-tip or a swab or anything, you can clean all this out here. Don't forget the other side as well. So clean all that out there. None of this, those are the only moving parts. The 3 I just showed you, plus of course your main spring and these 3 small pieces up here, everything else is set in there. You're good to go. You don't have to worry about losing anything. So again, that goes back there, just sits in place, clean it all out. And then we're going to go ahead and put this back together. So it's kind of a pain. Let's see if we can do it real quick for you. So you're going to put this small cross type piece in first. And typically I put the spring in here first and then drop it into place. Because what I'm going to do then, I'm going to take my Allen key and press up on the bottom of the spring so it locks into place. The bottom of the spring is going to sit on this little ledge here, and the top is going to sit inside of the little cross-looking piece. And then you're going to take this piece here. So I don't know what the official name of this, but you want the round end of this to the top of the mag and the sharp end to the bottom of the mag. And I don't think there is a wrong way to put this in. So you just want the sharp piece facing the bottom. And so this is, you're gonna have to mess with this a little bit. Just make sure you don't lose that spring. So this is when you need that small Allen key. I'm sure people have a better way of doing this. So you're gonna want this sharp piece to sit on top of this main spring, and you're gonna want this middle bar. I'll pull this back out so I can show you. You want this middle bar to sit in there like that. So it's going to sit all together basically like this. So spring at the bottom, middle bar there, good to go. Okay, so again, I put the spring in there. I'm going to drop it into place, and I'm going to take my Allen key to press the spring up to sit on that ledge. And again, it may take you a couple tries. And we're going to go ahead and take these 3 pieces out. Those 2 pieces, sorry. I think this pin occasionally, yeah, pin comes out there. Okay, that way we don't lose that. Okay, so we're going to take the T piece, spring, kind of set it on there. And we're going to set that spring on top of the ledge. So the bottom of that spring is going to sit on top of the ledge. Then we're going to take our piece here and set it in there. And remember, you want the center bar to be in the center of that piece. There's like a little cutout for it. Slide that all in there. And then I'm going to take my Allen key and push down on that main spring, so that way this piece sits on top of the spring. And it is kind of a pain. Like I said, once you've done it a couple times, you mess with it, you'll be able to get it, no problem. There we go. So the way you want to test to make sure, so hold it all together, and you want to make sure this has spring tension against it. And you're set. So those are those 3 pieces there. Realistically, you don't have to take this apart, but I wanted to show you just in case you accidentally touch it and it comes apart, or when you're pulling it apart, it comes apart, because there's nothing more frustrating than taking a mag apart in a hurry and you can't put it back together. Okay, so next, now that we've got that, you have your pin, your little lever piece, and another small spring. I'm going to go ahead and put this pin in place. And I believe the way I did it last time, so there's a small round piece to this lever. That is what helps me remind me that that's going to face down, because the spring has to sit around that. I don't know if you can see that, but so the spring is going to sit on the little round nipple piece on this lever. So that means there's only one way for this lever to go in, and that's going to be with the round nipple piece facing down, this little lever piece facing up. And then we're going to take our spring, and I'm going to press it in there with my thumb. I'm going to use the Allen key to press up on the bottom of the spring to get it to latch into place. And you're good to go. So I know that can be complicated. Watch that a few times. I definitely recommend watch this video a couple times before you take your mags apart. Okay, so now that we have those 3 pieces together, you're going to want to go ahead and take your spring here. We're going to set it in. So there's a spring with a wire. You want to pull this back just a little bit because it's going to set through this little notch here. And then set it into place. And make sure you have it in there right. If you wind it up, you can hear that click. That means that this spring and everything is working correctly. So this mag design is absolutely, I mean, I love this thing. It's awesome. So what we can do here is, normally it'd be kind of a pain in the butt. Like on the Tiberius mags, it's way more difficult to put all this spring back into place. As you can tell, it wants to bind up to put this on. On a TMC mag, you just take this here, you hold it out the bottom, and I usually pull it just tight enough. So I'm literally stretching it out just a little bit. My thumb can stay right here the whole time. So pull that so it is straight, just like that, a little bit of tension on it. And then make sure you have everything. This piece just sits right back on top. Shouldn't have to force it at all. Wiggle it back and forth. As you can see, I barely even pressed it. Make sure the seam is good on both sides. Good to go. And before you do anything, make sure you're holding onto that the whole time. Take one screw right here to the middle. Tighten it up. These are just screws, metal screws into plastic, so you don't want to use all your muscles on it. And you're good to go. Then you're able to take this, slide it back up into there. And if you have problems with it binding up like that, you can wind it up just a little bit and it'll lay flat. Right there. It's pretty straightforward. Then of course you have your 2 other screws. I'm going to go ahead and lay this on top of here. Tighten it up. Again, put all these screws back into place. And definitely test these before you go play again. When I did these mags the first time, most mags are can be difficult. This one was so easy. Okay, so what we're going to do to release the tension side, because we did wind it up a little bit, we're going to press this piece here. What that's going to do is going to show us that this is working correctly. So I'm going to wind it up. Make sure that that guide, or the part that pushes the paintballs up, is actually tightening up. And then I'm going to press the release. We're good to go. And then make sure that this is the plastic rectangle piece inside. Make sure that slides forward and backwards, and you're all set. Good to go. So that is your TMC mag. What I like about these two is if you didn't want the connector, it's extremely easy. You can take it apart. One screw here. But one thing you want to make sure is that if you do take all this apart, these screws, I believe, are longer than the other screws inside. So if you accidentally put too long of screw through this, it's going to come out the other side. So make sure you keep track of the screws when you're doing that. Same for this side. If you want to take it off, good to go. Again, be careful with that screw. This I'm not going to take apart. You should never have to do that, but it seems pretty simple. One main spring with a lever and a pin, just like the inside, and you're all set. So if you don't want the entire piece and the connector back, or the speed loader, I think is what they're calling it. And then of course, one thing I just realized is you don't want to forget the metal piece. So this is kind of a pain. So I do it by putting one side on there with my finger. If you notice it's not tall enough to reach, sometimes you can kind of cram it from the top, but again, you're gonna have to stretch it. So put one finger there, take one Allen key, and pull it just a little bit, typically your smaller one, pull it just a little bit out. It's going to go around the edge. Let me do it one more time. You don't want to really bend this back, because if you bend it, it might not clip on there anymore. Okay, so we're going to go one side first, hold it with your finger, and I'm going to take another Allen key underneath it, and I'm just going to pull directly towards me. That'll stretch it just enough to go over, and then click it into place. And then slide it all the way down to the bottom of the mag, and you are all set. Wipe down the outside, maybe rubbing alcohol, that way it evaporates, cleans up real nice. Tighten these up snug, and you're ready to rock and roll. Cool deal. If you guys have any questions about this, make sure you guys subscribe to our channel. If you found this video helpful and you feel like it prevented you from getting real frustrated, go ahead and like our video. It really helps us grow our channel. And if you like tech videos and review videos, we do have weekly videos of both. So I appreciate you guys watching. If you have any questions, comment below. Otherwise, we'll see you guys next time. Thank you.